The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Virginia, Ms. McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I graduated law school 1 year after Congress passed the Telecom Act of 1996. And I remember running into a member of the committee who asked, well, what are you doing now? And I said, well, I'm trying to figure out what you meant when you passed the Telecom Act, because my first job was as an outside counsel to GTE implementing it. And he said, well, when you figure it out, let me know. In the process of implementing the Telecom Act, I learned words matter. I learned that courts interpret the plain meaning of the words that Congress uses. I learned that when you put a list of exemptions in place and you exclude things, courts assume you did that intentionally. And yes, Congress regulates interstate commerce, but AI is not just interstate commerce. AI is an application used across all of our systems. In 2018, I attended a legal conference where an expert was explaining megatrends and all the different effects, and he talked about AI, and he predicted in 2018 the ability of AI to create fake news will outpace the ability of AI to detect it in 2018. And the more he talked about AI in 2018, he scared the living daylights out of me. At that point, I was both a regulatory lawyer and a state legislator. And I won't tell you literally what I said because you might strike my words, but HS was involved. None of our systems are ready for AI. This was 2018. This body had its first AI hearing in 2023, the House. Now, meanwhile, in 2018, China had a plan for global dominance in AI by 2030. Since then, AI has been used across a wide variety of things that states do regulate, like law enforcement, like insurance, like education, like crimes. And AI is used in all of those. And this moratorium says no state or political subdivision thereof may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't say regulating the creation of, doesn't say regulating the development of, not the sale of, any. So if a state wants to regulate how law enforcement can use AI to surveil its citizens, it can't. If a state wants to regulate how AI is used in the education system, it can't. If a state wants to regulate how to punish, how to change its laws to address the use of AI to commit crimes in a way that the state law doesn't account for now, it can't. Any law is broad, and the exemptions are very, very narrow. And what you're doing is saying for 10 years while Congress does nothing, oh, by the way, we've already said, the president has said everything having to do with education needs to go back to the states. And I don't have time to go through everything else the president or my colleagues on the other side of the aisle has said the states can do. You are handcuffing the states and localities' ability to regulate how AI will be used in the very things that they do have the power to regulate. And by the time Congress acts, because I've been here almost 3 years now, and if you, after doing this task force, as the gentlewoman from New York said, where there was broad agreement and you can't pass anything out of that, you're not going to be able to regulate every aspect of how AI is going to be used at the state and local level in 10 years. And in the meanwhile, AI runs rampant, and we're not ready for it. And, you know, science fiction sometimes comes true. A lot of stuff from Star Trek now exists. Well, I certainly hope that Terminator,
The general
Or
lady's
Ultron
time has
don't.
expired.
and we need to be careful. I yield back.